You're listening to Into the Smoke, hosted by Patrick Harmon. Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing? This is episode 6 of Into the Smoke. I'm your host, Patrick Harmon. Today, we just came off of Indy. Indy. Yep. Not much to talk about there except a bunch of wrecks and the most weirdest parts of the race. I know we were thinking about wrecks, but hey, that's all you can think about, I guess. We got a bunch of stuff on our schedule. If you guys were not watching the news today on NASCAR.com, you missed a lot. A lot of teams were moving around and all that stuff. Contracts were being signed, and so we're gonna get right into it with the winner. And that was one contract that was not signed. We'll talk about that later. Why I was kind of irritated about today or yesterday about Sunday's race. Kasey Kahne won, very long winless streak, including Kyle Busch's winless streak, but Kahne was back in 2014, I believe, and he got his first win in a while, and I was pretty happy for him. I'm not a big Hendrick Motorsports fan. I'm not a big Kahne fan, but I'm definitely a big Junior fan. You know, I'm a big Junior Nation fan, but not a big fan in general about them. You know what I mean? I've not liked their practices, and I feel like that's one reason that I believe that's one reason that SHR has walked away from them. But that's outside the point. He did win, and I was wondering. I wonder if this will lead to his 2018 contract extension. And yes, it is 2018 is when his contract is ending. I looked it up again during the race. There was some confusion up in the booth, and we'll talk about that too. One of the reasons I'm kind of happy that this year is almost I'm like almost halfway done through, at least with NBC's coverage of it, because next year's NBC coverage probably is going to be a lot better. But they had some confusion. They're like, oh, I don't know if that's for true or not, but it's common knowledge. They come out and tell you guys that, like, hey, my contract's ending, and I don't know if it's going to come out very well. They say that it's not whatever he thought it was. I just didn't understand that. But I hope it does lead him to a contract extension. It was pretty good for him and all that stuff. It was a good win. He obviously didn't win it due to the sole fact of his very fast car. It was more the fact that he was able to get out of the wrecks and stay out of the carnage, basically. But yeah. So I definitely think that should definitely go to his record. So yeah. Next line of news is came out on Monday or Tuesday. I know maybe it came out during the weekend, and I just got it on Monday or Tuesday. But I'm pretty sure it came out on Monday or Tuesday though, maybe Monday. Junior signed a multi-year contract with NBC Sports, meaning not just the cable NBC Sports network, but NBC, meaning that he will possibly do even the local side of things, like what most of them do, and he might even do the I know they do those what do they call it, the Olympics. He might even do some Olympics. That would be kind of cool. But that's what I was saying about I'm kind of hoping this whole season flies by really quick, because when Gordon got up there, I was pretty happy. You know, Gordon was kind of like, he was kind of, I mean, he's not key key. He's not on key on everything, but especially when they have like guest drivers, when they're still drivers, like, you know what I mean, like let's think of a Stewart Haas driver, Kevin Harvick. Yeah, Kevin Harvick. I love when he pops up there, and I love when he sits there and be like, yeah, when he did he wasn't very knowledgeable, but when he did the Eldora race this past few weeks ago, it was actually this past week and a half ago. It was like last Wednesday. He did the Eldora race. I was pretty happy about that. But yeah. But this next part of news is really quick, but it's gonna lead into a very long piece of news that's gonna be very long, and then we'll get back into what it all means to everything. But Keselowski gets a multi-year contract extension. Basically means he gets to drive with Penske for a very long time. They don't say exactly, but they don't always say exactly how long it's going to be right there. Might be 5 years, might be 10 years, might be 3 years. I mean, it goes all around. All it means is he has a car for a while, until he wants to leave, basically. And, I mean, like, especially with these older drivers talking about lately, we don't know when these drivers are going to retire. It all depends on how many wrecks they can take and how many wins they have and all those. There's there's a lot of things that can be involved. But we have a bunch of people moving around. And this I'm gonna go through, and then we'll go back through. I want to make sure that everybody gets this one time around. If you didn't get the news, Penske is going to run 3 cars in 2018. They originally run 2. They run the original two are going to be Keselowski and Logano. The third one's going to be coming from Wood Brothers. It's going to be Ryan Blaney. Wood Brothers is going to take on Paul Menard. Or Paul Menards. RCR is going to be taking on, just as at this moment, it's going to take Newman and Austin Dillon. They have not made plans for a third car at this moment. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to go down to RCR right now. RCR is going to be losing their sponsorship deal with Menards. What does that mean? Well, that means a lot of things. I think that means right now, that means that they should start worrying about a major sponsorship deal. Because, I don't know, Second thing that means for RCR is that, they should probably start looking for a driver. Meaning, we got one driver right now at least, Matt Kenseth, that is basically what I think what should be considered a free agent right now at least. As far unless if we have any other reason to believe that he has a has a contract lined up, he is definitely ready to jump into another car. But we have the 77 open, which we might get picked up by another driver, might not. We have and I'm gonna throw the ball open right now. I totally forgot you guys. Bowman is gonna be driving the 88. I totally forgot to put that in the news, but Bowman is going to be driving the 88. It's already official now. I totally forgot to put that in the news, but so Bowman. But we do have other drivers that are still actively in JR Motorsports that could potentially drive that have good potential in JR Motorsports. I've seen them, and then I know there's drivers that drive. I hate to admit this, but drive Kyle Busch Motorsports trucks, and then the Joe Gibbs Racing Xfinity Series cars too. So they have to act pretty quick if they want to run a third car, you know. So they haven't decided yet, but they said they will tell, like, they will tell more about their plans. What happens with Wood Brothers? I think they should be pretty happy. They have a very expensive guy with them right now. Paul Menards is a very expensive guy. He's got a lot of sponsorship ability, meaning his dad, and I joke about that, but you gotta think, he didn't run a lot of, he runs mediocre races. I think I'm not, and I'm just saying, and he's just needs to bump it up. But in general, he doesn't need to. And I've never understood how he can, but that's the only thing I can think of is that, that's a family, sponsorship, and, it's a big, big across the Midwest at least. You go around all Fort Wayne, you got Menards, and so, yeah. So that's what Wood Brothers is. Like, they have the upper hand, I believe, in this. Penske, they're opening up a third team, so they're gonna have either have to add space to their garage, or possibly add a second garage. I don't know what they do. I believe that they run their own engines. I'm pretty sure they run their own engines. Run own engines and chassis. So that doesn't make. So they're just gonna have to work harder, basically, and hire more people. So out of this whole deal, so far Penske's probably gonna have to work a little bit harder. But Paul Menard, and the Wood Brothers probably have the best out of the deal because, he's just transferring over his sponsorships. I think that's going to be the best deal out of it. And Wood Brothers is a Ford team, so unless if they're going to transfer to Chevy and possibly get RCR to build them, because RCR makes engines and chassis, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think so. And Newman and Dillon over at RCR are probably going to get a new teammate, which I don't know who that might be yet. Matt Kenseth might be it, though, more than likely. So, haven't been on this too much yet, but the last bit of news out there is going to be on Kyle Busch and Truex Jr. It was a pretty late race wreck. I guess they because they're basically teammates. Kyle Busch and Truex Jr.'s, both of their owners swap information, and they also JGR also gives them engines and chassis, and they send and they get that and all that stuff. So they're basically teammates. So they're trying to get as much as and they're trying to be try to be teammates on the track. And what happened, as far as I saw on the replay, was Truex Jr. was trying to get was trying to get a good run, and somehow got loose and got into the concrete down there, where it kind of curves up on, and then makes like a curb on into the grass, and he got up in there just a little bit too much, and he hit Kyle. And I think Kyle got a little bit too hot and heavy over it because he doesn't always, he always does that. Really, he always gets a little bit too much hot and heavy over everything. He should have just said, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, and he needs to he needs to truly say, if he didn't see the replay yet, and like, oh, I didn't see, you know what I mean, he needs to say, I didn't see the replay yet. I think it possibly might have been him getting a little too loose, and then he hit me. But when he just said that, you know, when he just said that, when he just said that, what did he say? Man, what did he say? He said that, oh, I thought we were going to be able to be teammates on this or whatever. I'm like, man, I don't think that's going to be really that's not really what, you know what I mean, what was really happening there. And, he just really, like, I don't know, like, he should have acted like a driver, you know what I mean, a real driver and all that stuff, and a real teammate and all that stuff. And, like, I didn't really look at the replay yet. It might have been possibly him getting loose, but I don't know. I'll have to look, and if that happens, but that might happen. But anyway, they're saying he might race in on points. If he races in on points, I'm gonna feel really bad for who I feel really bad who races him for races him in general, you know, because of what happens there. Because then he's gonna turn around and be like, I didn't see the you know what I mean, he's not gonna sit there and be like, he's gonna lie and be like, oh, they did something like that, or they did that. He doesn't ever tell the truth. He sits there and tries to lie and cheat his way out of the wreck or whatever happened. And he does that every time he wrecks. You know, he might not do that every time he loses a race or something like that, but every time he wrecks, you gotta listen to him, and you gotta understand what happens. You know, if you listen to Clint Boyer or Kevin Harvick or Kurt, I think even Kurt, you know what I mean, he at least, like, he took action for what he did do, you know, and or, you know what I mean, or they'll say, like, oh, I saw it in the Infield Care Center, you know, it was probably, you know what I mean, there was probably a bunch of people bunching up behind me, I must have got loose, or something like that. But like I said, I'm gonna feel really bad for whoever races him for a win or for a position so they can advance, because he's gotta, you know what I mean, he's gotta prove that, you know what I mean, he can't, and he can, you know what I mean, show that he can show, like, he doesn't have to get so, you know what I mean, negative or so lying about the wreck. He could just say, hey, you know, because I know he would go over to anybody's hauler in instant and probably tell him, but you wrecked me and all that stuff. But did you even see the, you know? Because if that was me, you know, and he sat there and lied and all that stuff, babe, you didn't even see the footage. So why don't you go back on the TV and tell him exactly what you saw on the footage? And if you didn't see anything on the footage, you need to go look at the footage first, because you probably have multiple opportunities to watch the footage before you talk to the, you know what I mean, the cameras, because they probably want you to see that. But anyway, it's definitely going to be a different year for Chase. I guess that's what this section's going to be about, is Chase. Because it is, like, there's a lot of drivers I think should be able to get in, You know what I mean? I believe Clint Boyer should be able to get in, but like I was gonna see when he, I wanted to see what, man. I wanted to, for a second, I wanted to see race recap. There we go. No, not that. Man. Oh, there we go. Standings, qualifying, entry list, practice, race. I wanted to see if Clint, because Kevin and Kurt already have raced in. Yeah, he got in a wreck. Clint got in a wreck at he got in third. He got 30th at an accident. So, man, I just really want him because he's gonna have to win a race, and there's just so many drivers that are gonna have to do that, and Clint's gonna be one of them, and I think Pocono is gonna be one of the races. Like we're gonna go through the schedule real quick. We got Pocono this week. Also pull up we got Pocono, right? Yep. Pocono's the 30th. And then Watkins Glen. And then we go back to Michigan. And then Bristol. Oh, yeah, Bristol's a night race. Yeah, there's only I was gonna count for you guys real quick, and then we'll try to wrap this up. I don't want to talk too long for you guys. So there we go. We got, including Pocono, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 races until the end. 6 races until the playoffs, or the chase, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just, like, it's better than before, it's better than before. I know there's a lot of drivers that had they had like threats against each other and all that stuff. I want to wreck you if you do this to me, or I'm going to fight you if you do this. But at the same time, they're still not done, It's still not done with the whole, Kyle Busch and, I need to win, I'm going to do. And it feels like, there's a lot of drivers that are okay with, winning their way in, okay. But with Kyle Busch, I think he wants to win just because he hasn't won all season. And if he wins, if he gets in the chase without winning, that might do something. So, I don't know. But, he really needs to step up his game if he really wants to win especially a championship this year, because he's not driving a championship style drive. He's driving a rookie, basically, a very, very bad rookie driving. So he needs to drive better. So, with that being said, you guys, the race is at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. It's in Pocono. If you guys want to drive over to Pocono, it's over in Poconos. I don't know where. I'll get you guys directions if you want me to. Turn left out of your house. Turn right. 3 miles later. I don't know. Anyway, guys, there's a lot of things going on, and there's going to be probably a lot more. It's getting that time of year that it's just going to rack up. So, without further ado, guys, you know where to find me. It's always in the Facebook. It's always in the Twitters. And if you guys like my gaming video, there's going to be a lot more like that. I'm probably going to do one either tomorrow or Friday, somewhere around there. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And stay out of the smoke. Peace.